What if you were given a map of the future, not a vague horoscope, but a detailed, chronological blueprint of world history, written centuries in advance? A map that named the rise and fall of global superpowers, predicted the coming of a divine king, and unveiled a final, cosmic conflict between good and evil. This isn't science fiction. This is the story of an exiled Jewish prophet named Daniel. While held captive in the heart of the Babylonian Empire, he experienced a series of visions so profound, so precise, that they have become the skeleton key for understanding biblical prophecy. But these visions are more than just ancient history. They contain a message that is shockingly relevant for our world today. Strap in, because we're about to decode Daniel's visions. Before we dive into the strange beasts and cosmic battles, we need to meet the man himself. Daniel was a teenager from Jerusalem's nobility, taken as a prisoner of war to Babylon around 605 BC. He was intelligent, handsome, and faithful to his God. Against all odds, he rose to become the chief advisor to the most powerful kings on earth, Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon and later, Darius the Mede. His life was a miracle. He survived a furnace of fire and a den of hungry lions. But his most significant contributions weren't just surviving royal politics. They were the messages he received from God. Daniel was a master of dreams, but not his own. He interpreted the dreams of kings. And in chapter 2, he was given the first piece of the puzzle, a vision of a giant statue. King Nebuchadnezzar dreamed of a massive, dazzling statue. Its head was gold, its chest and arms were silver, its torso was bronze, its legs were iron, and its feet were a fragile mix of iron and clay. Then, a mysterious stone, cut not by human hands, struck the statue's feet, shattering it to dust. The stone then grew into a mountain that filled the whole earth. Daniel's interpretation. The statue represents a succession of world empires: head of gold, Babylon; chest of silver, Medo-Persian Empire; belly of bronze, Greek Empire of Alexander the Great; legs of iron, the Roman Empire; feet of iron and clay, a final, divided version of the Roman Empire, strong yet brittle; the stone, the eternal kingdom of God, established by the Messiah, which will consume all earthly kingdoms. This was the overview, but later, Daniel would get a much more detailed, and much stranger, version of this timeline. Years later, an old Daniel is studying the prophecies of Jeremiah. He realizes the 70 years of exile are almost up. He prays fervently, confessing the sins of his people and begging God for restoration. This prayer of humility and seeking is the crucial key. It's only after this sincere search for understanding that God sends an answer far beyond what Daniel expected. This teaches us a vital lesson. Profound revelation often follows humble seeking. In Daniel 7, Daniel has his own vision. He sees the great sea churning with chaos, and four terrifying beasts emerge: 1. A lion with eagle's wings, representing Babylon, majestic and swift; 2. A lopsided bear, representing the Medo-Persian Empire, strong, with a dominant Persian side; 3. A four-headed, four-winged leopard, representing the Greek Empire under Alexander, incredibly fast, and upon his death, divided among his four generals. 4. A fourth beast, indescribable. This is the climax. It's terrifying, strong, with iron teeth, crushing everything. It has 10 horns. This parallels the statue, but with a darker, more brutal focus on the nature of human government. But the vision isn't over. The focus shifts to the 10 horns. Among the 10 horns of the fourth beast, a little horn emerges. It uproots 3 of the other horns. This horn has the eyes of a man and a mouth that spoke boastfully. It wages war against the saints and tries to change God's laws and times. This figure is the Antichrist, the ultimate embodiment of human arrogance and rebellion against God. He is the final ruler of the final empire, but his reign is short-lived. Just as the little horn seems unstoppable, the scene shifts to heaven. Thrones are set up, and the Ancient of Days, or God the Father, takes his seat. His clothing is white as snow, his throne is flaming fire. This is the divine courtroom. The books are opened, and judgment is pronounced in favor of the saints. The beast is slain and its body destroyed. This is the ultimate reassurance. No matter how powerful evil appears on earth, heaven is still in control. 2 years later, Daniel gets another, more focused vision in chapter 8. The two-horned ram, Media and Persia, is defeated by a goat from the west, Greece, with a single great horn, Alexander the Great. When that horn breaks, 4 others take its place, Alexander's 4 generals. Then, a small horn arises from one of them, a tyrant who desecrates the temple. This was historically fulfilled by a Greek ruler named Antiochus Epiphanes in the 2nd century BC. He is a preview of the final Antichrist. This brings us to the most famous and precise prophecy in the Bible, the 70 weeks. An angel tells Daniel that a period of 77s is decreed for his people. Most scholars agree these are weeks of years, meaning a 490-year period. The prophecy gives a start date, the decree to rebuild Jerusalem. It then predicts 2 key events before the 69th week ends. 1. The coming of the Anointed One, the Messiah. 2. The death of this Messiah. History shows that from the decree of Artaxerxes in 444 BC, exactly 483 years, 69 weeks of years later, brings us to around 33 AD, the time of Jesus' triumphal entry and crucifixion. The prophecy is stunningly accurate. Daniel is overwhelmed. He fasts and prays for 3 weeks. Finally, a glorious being, likely the angel Gabriel, appears. Why the delay? He explains he was fighting the prince of the kingdom of Persia, a demonic power influencing the Persian Empire. He needed the help of the archangel Michael. This reveals a critical truth. The events we see on earth are directly connected to an unseen spiritual war in the heavenly realms. The angel gives Daniel a blow-by-blow account of future Middle Eastern politics. He describes the wars between the Ptolemaic dynasty, king of the south, in Egypt, and the Seleucid dynasty, king of the north, in Syria, with jaw-dropping accuracy, all written centuries before it happened. This serves as proof of God's sovereign knowledge. If God can get these historical details right, we can trust him on the future ones. The prophecy culminates with the rise of the final king of the north, the Antichrist figure. He will set up the abomination that causes desolation in the temple. Then comes a time of unprecedented distress. But Michael will arise, and God's people will be delivered. Daniel is told to seal the words of the scroll until the time of the end. He is confused, asking, "My Lord, what will the outcome of all this be?" The answer is cryptic: "Go your way, Daniel, but you will rest, and at the end of the days you will rise to receive your allotted inheritance." The angel's final words are some of the clearest Old Testament statements about the resurrection and final judgment. Multitudes who sleep in the dust of the earth will awake, some to everlasting life, others to shame and everlasting contempt. The book ends with a personal word for Daniel: "As for you, go your way till the end. You will rest, and then at the end of the days you will rise." So, why does this 2,500-year-old prophecy matter to you and me today? Because the timeline of Daniel points directly to our era. The final kingdom, the revived Roman Empire symbolized by the 10 toes and 10 horns, is a future reality. Many scholars believe we are living in the era of the feet of iron and clay, a time of globalism and fragile alliances, waiting for the rise of the final ruler. Daniel's visions are not given to satisfy our curiosity about the future. They are given to shape our character in the present. The ultimate message of Daniel is not fear, but hope. It's a reminder that human empires rise and fall. Tyrants boast and are then silenced. But the kingdom of God, the stone cut without hands, is eternal. It cannot be shaken. The same God who gave Daniel the map of history is the one who holds your future. In a world of chaos, the message is this: God is sovereign. He knows the end from the beginning. Therefore, our call is the same as Daniel's, to remain faithful, to seek understanding, and to trust that, no matter what happens, the Ancient of Days is on the throne. The story ends not with a beast, but with a resurrection, and that changes everything. Thanks for watching. What biblical topic should we explore next? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe for more content that connects ancient wisdom to modern life. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive.